everybody, it's Mike, the Baldadonis. And today is Thursday, which means it's
Conspiracy Theories Thursday
with Gary from the gym.
Today's conspiracy is about Agenda 21, which is about controlling people's mobility and things they want to do, and flying in airplanes.
Really?
You know, blowing gasoline or diesel fuel, whatever you want to call it. And so yeah, Agenda 21, which means the agenda for the 21st century. I knew about this back in 2003, 2004. The new words now is sustainable development. And the goal now is 2030. So Agenda 2030. And this has been going on since 1948, where the elites want to control or have a globalist control over all nations. We call it the New World Order. And the IUCN, which is the International Union for Conservation of Nature. See, one of the common denominators between us and everybody else in the world is they use global warming or nature and protecting nature. Also in 1992, President George Bush I, he was at the United Nations addressing them, and they said, "It is the sacred principles enshrined in the United Nations Charter to which the American people will henceforth pledge their allegiance and implement Agenda 21. So a year later, President Clinton, by an executive order with no congressional review, established the President's Council for Sustainable Development. So, and prior to that, we had federal bureaucracies create the Wildlands Project and the Biodiversity Wetlands and Wildlands Project. So, how are they going to do it? How are they going to perpetrate the agenda? The purpose is to steal a few generations of children. As you indoctrinate them to accept the ideas, they become global citizens in the coming global village. You can see that as an example through one of the representatives in New York. Her name's Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And she had come out maybe a month or two ago talking about how the planet's going to fall apart and self-destruct in 12 years, and how we need to do all these green and Green New Deal, how to stop burning fossil fuel. But yeah, the idea is to get humans into human settlement zones where we're not going to destroy the planet. You know, they want more land to be out there, you know, so animals can grow again, you know, create more of like the earth that it was at one time, because they feel as though humans are ruining the planet. So
I believe that, that's for sure.
Yeah, but the only reason I bring this up is that it's a form of tyranny. Humans will lose their rights to do anything under the guise of regulations or laws by the powers to be. You know what I mean? It's bad enough they got all the dough in the world, but now they want to control your way of life, and that's where it's at. That's what I'm bringing up here. So you can always look into it. Google Agenda 21. Now, come to find out, in June of 2017, the city of Santa Rosa had made plans for Agenda 21. They had it all boundaried out and all the ideas of development there. And then in October of 2017, the whole place gets burnt out. Now,
coincidence?
Huh?
Coincidence?
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. North Carolina and South Carolina, North California and South California, all these areas have been burnt out. And they do have a design of a train that connect all that area. And to me, within the next 10 years, I'm looking to see how the sustainable development will proceed there, because everybody lost everything. Those houses were toast, dustified, call it what you will. So you can do Santa Rosa Agenda 21, and it's just coincidental that they had these plans and come to find out it all got burnt out. So you're gonna see apartments or houses built closer to each other, apartments, housing development with floors, no word of a lie.
Floors.
But the idea is to take people away from rural areas and just put them in the clusters or areas, and that would be a form of control, and take away their mobility. They do have these EPA and a lot of regulation, federal bureaucracies come up with these rules that, there's a fish in that stream or that river and you can't build anywhere there or anything, or, and then we got all these weather problems where it's just wiping out land. Like in Houston, you had the 54 inches of rain in an X amount of hours. You got the fires in California. Right now we got polar vortexes and cyclone bombs that are just wiping out like 6 states right now. It's going on in springtime. And what it does is it destroys vegetation. People that own those farms and whatever won't be able to survive, pay their bills, whatever. And then they have to sell for pennies on the dollar, and that's how you get these people off the land. They're condensing farms. The small farmers like moving out because of regulations. It's about control and reshaping families, reshaping to society and the way they think. So that's what sustainable development's about. I heard about Agenda 21 like 12, 13 years ago, and it's really kicking in. And so if you're scratching your head and trying to understand why people are saying the things they do, it's because they've been through this education system. It started in the 40s, 70s. They tried to do it. They couldn't do it. They didn't want a revolution, so they figured they'd get into the educational system and work it through there. I mean, we have children in classrooms all over the world striking because they want some kind of ecological betterment. We're going to save the planet. So I'm just trying to illustrate just how indoctrinated these people are becoming. So when they get to an age of representation, even in the Congress, it's not going to be a problem. It's just going to be normal for them to sign away our rights or take away freedoms, under the guise of saving the planet,
So is that a real conspiracy, trying to save the planet?
No. The conspiracy is that the United Nations is taking over the world through the Green Deal or the idea of global warming, because they're trying to tell you that if we control the situation, we're not going to have global catastrophes. But you see, the solar and the wind people are having a hard time trying to get startups moving because the fossil fuel industry is still a big conglomerate and a lobbyist with our Congress. So, it begs the question, what I'm trying to say? My idea for conspiracies is just to bring out some new thoughts. And then actually, if you study it, you'll see through this prism why things are happening the way they are. You know what I'm saying?
All right, buddy.
So.
That it?
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Until the next video, Baldadonis.